In luxury, brands rarely become weaker all at once. Usually, they start feeling less inevitable before anyone wants to admit it. And I think that's exactly what makes this moment interesting. Because if you look at the latest numbers, the easy reaction is very simple. Difficult market, difficult quarter. And yes, that's part of the story. LVMH fashion and leather goods was down 2% organically in the first quarter of 2026. Gucci was down 8% on a comparable basis, 14% reported. So yes, the pressure is real, but it's not the whole picture. Hermès in the same quarter still grew 6% at constant currency. So luxury is collapsing would be too easy. This is not one single story. It's a market splitting in two. And here's the part that stayed with me. For LVMH fashion and leather goods, this is not one bad quarter. This is the 7th quarter in a row of decline. 7 quarters is not a bad moment. 7 quarters is a pattern. So my real question is not, why is this quarter weak? My question is, when even the strongest brands in the world slow down for 7 quarters, what is actually weakening first? The market, the product, or the momentum around the brand? Now, this is my reading, not a proven conclusion, but in my experience, numbers usually make visible a weakening that started earlier. A brand can still look strong on the surface. It can still have heritage. It can still have product. It can still have distribution. But if it starts generating less tension, less urgency, less desire, the market feels it before it can fully explain it. And I'm not looking at this as a financial analyst. I'm a textile sales representative. My family has been in textiles and apparel for 5 generations, since 1889. Today I run a textile agency in Prato with my brothers, selling Italian fabrics across Northern Europe. So I sit in the middle, between the mill that weaves the fabric and the brand that puts a name on the garment. And from that point of view, what interests me is not only performance, it's timing. So when a strong brand slows down, what usually starts weakening before the numbers? 3 things. 1. Desirability. The brand stops generating the same pull. 2. Clarity. The brand stops saying something sharp. 3. Momentum. The brand stops feeling inevitable. Numbers tell you that something happened. They do not always tell you when it really started. Now, to be fair, I'm not saying every weak quarter means a brand has lost its identity. And I'm not saying quarterly numbers explain everything. Macroeconomics matters. The Middle East conflict matters. The market environment is clearly tougher than it was. But I am saying that a 7-quarter decline is not only a macro story. At some point, it becomes a brand story too. So 3 things I take away from this. 1. Big brands do not weaken all at once. 2. The numbers are usually the signal, not the full explanation. And 3. This is the one that matters most to me. In luxury, being established is not the same as feeling alive. And this is exactly why some brands become more interesting in a slower market, not less. Because when most of the market feels heavier, the brands that still generate visible desire tell you something important. That's why Chanel right now is worth looking at very closely. And that's the next video.